Hey guys, welcome to another Jamaican Tales video, a Jamaican living in Germany. This video is all about renewing the Jamaican passport from overseas online. So stick around and hear a few tips and tricks of how you can get it done to save time, effort, and some money. If you want to renew your passport when living overseas, whether it's United States, wow. Whether it's America, Canada, United Kingdom, or somewhere in Europe, or anywhere across the world actually, for many people, the first option is, okay, I need to find the nearest embassy or consulate so that I can renew my passport. In Germany, I contacted the embassy in Berlin. What's the process and how much does it cost and so on. They send me all the information. It's gonna cost like 150 euros to renew the passport. I was like, what? Why is it so expensive? And that was not even the crazy part of it. You pay so much money and it's not like it's an express service or something. You're like, there's also no guarantee about how quickly you'll get the new passport. It can go up to 3 months. I'm paying 150 euros and there's no guarantee like how quickly I'll get my passport. When you renew your passport through the embassy, then of course there's an additional fee that you pay, and I find the process to be really frustrating because they send me the documents that I needed to fill out. This I would have to send them by mail. They send it to PICA and PICA does the processing and send the passport back to them. The embassy or the consulate, they're just a middleman, and I don't really like that concept. If I can get them out of the picture, then of course that will make the process much faster. The time, it's way too much. The money is way too much. And just the effort that I need to go through, there has to be a better way to renew my passport. Another thing that made me super excited about renewing my passport is of course that Jamaica launched the biometric or the e-passports in April this year. So these are the new passports with the electronic chip embedded either in the cover or in the photo page of the passport. This was additional motivation for me and additional excitement, like, yeah, I need to renew my passport. I only have a couple more months with this passport, and in any case I only have 2 blank pages left in the passport. I made another video talking about this passport, so you can check it out to get some more details about the Jamaican e-passport. Of course, I ruled out the embassy because the time, effort, and the money that is needed for it, I'm like, okay, this makes absolutely no sense. Then I started searching and I recognized that it's possible to renew your passports online. But of course, I didn't get too excited right away because I'm not in Jamaica. How does that process work when you're overseas? So I was very careful. I had my friends and my family there called PICA because I had so many questions. I'm like, because this is a bit too good to be true. You're living overseas and you want to renew your passport. What are your options? Apart from the embassy and stuff, you can actually renew your passport online, completely online, which I must admit I was really surprised when I found this out. What? You can do all of this online? Thinking back to a couple of years ago, well, like 10 years ago when I got my passport, the effort you had to go through to get your passport, I mean, getting a JP to sign, getting the photo verified, going there for these long lines at PICA, sitting there for this person to go through the form. When I recognized all of this could be done online, I was like, wow, Jamaica has come a really far way. Well, PICA has come a very far way. Kudos to them for the work that they've done. Renewing my passport online was a smooth, simple process. The same process applies if you're living in Jamaica. It's just at the end with the delivery options and so on where things change. The first thing that you need to go is to the PICA website. We're interested in renewing the passport, so what we do is we click on the tab passport at the top. Then you click on renew. You have these options here where they describe the different ways that you can renew your passport. We're interested in, of course, the online option, and this is only available for adults. When you get to this page here, of course, you can start a new application. You can resume your application. You can also check the status of your application. If you open an application, it's valid for 1 week. So you have within 1 week to actually complete the application. After that, it will be removed from the system and you'll have to start all over again. So we start a new application. And when we click on this, the first thing that pops up to us is these list of questions. So you go through these questions where they ask you, for example, if your current passport is going to be expiring in 1 year or less. If it's not, then you're going to have to pay more money for that. So in my case, I just went through yes, yes, and then no, because the passport is not damaged. And I've not made any changes to my name. And so if you make changes to your name, then you can't do it online. Of course, you need a photo that was taken recently. They want to make sure that you have your current passport and all those other questions. You click next, and then on this page, as you can see, you enter your name and your date of birth and your birth certificate number. So whenever you're doing this, make sure that you have your birth certificate with you so that you can enter that number right there. and of course you need to have your current passport. After you enter this information, the next step is the email. You need to have an email address, so you enter your email address here. This is where you'll get the information for. They will also send a code so that you can verify the email address, and you get this code, you enter that code, and then you can move on to the next step where you start entering your information. For example, your name, your surname, the profession. I heard, I'm not really sure if this is true, but apparently the new passports don't have this information. But in any case, you still have to select a profession, and of course enter in your phone number. So the next thing is then to enter your permanent address. So this is your address overseas. If you are going to be sending your passport directly from PICA to your address overseas, for example in the States or wherever, you would select the option to say same as permanent address. If you want to send your passport somewhere else, for example, let's say you want to renew your passport and send it to someone living in Jamaica, then you would enter their address. A friend of mine is visiting Germany, so what I decided to do was to renew my passport, send it to him so that he could take it for me. But just a note here to learn from my mistake. If you're gonna be doing it that way, where you're going to be delivering the passport to someone in Jamaica, make sure that the phone numbers that you enter for your contact are local numbers. My mistake was that I entered my German number. Contact number that you enter there, they're gonna use it for DHL. And so you have to make sure it's a local number. If you're sending local, if you're sending internationally, then it should be an international number. This will simplify things, because what happened in my situation is that they sent me an email saying, yeah, we need local numbers. I had to send that to them, so this delayed the process by like another 2 days, which almost messed up the entire timeline of my friend bringing my passport to me and almost causing me to spend maybe double as much as I wanted. After entering your personal information, the next thing is to then enter your emergency contacts. You have to go through this, entering their name, their address, their contact number, all that stuff. Now comes the interesting part, the cost for all of this. Here you have two services that are available to you online, so you can select the delivery option or you can select the pickup option. In my case, because my friend was taking it for me, I didn't do the pickup option because I think it would make it more complicated, because then I need to provide him permission, like some letter to say that you can pick it up on my behalf. I'm not sure if just a printed out letter would suffice, so I didn't bother to go. I went along with the delivery option. Here you see the selected country is already Jamaica because I entered a local address. If you entered an address overseas, then it will show, for example, which country that you entered, and then you can select the service option that you want. So there's a regular, which is 1 week, and there's also an express service, which is 3 days. There's also a 1 day option, but that doesn't seem to be available online. After selecting the options that you want, it provides you a summary to say that, okay, the passport renewal fee is 6,500 Jamaican dollars. The delivery fee is 1,900 and the total is then 8,400. So on top of this, I wanted to do the 3 day service, so that was on top another 3,000 Jamaican dollars. So in total, 11,400 Jamaican dollars, which is about 67, 66 euros in comparison to the 150 euros that they were expecting me to pay at the embassy. Now, if you check on PICA's fees, and all the fees are listed there, and you'll see, for example, you have 6,500 Jamaican dollars is the cost for the renewal, but there's also this overseas fee, which is in US dollars and also in pounds. If you're applying from America, you enter the American address and it should be delivered there, then I think they actually apply the overseas fee, versus if you send it to a local address in Jamaica, then it would be the local price that's there. If it's possible for someone to take it for you, then it could also work out much cheaper for you. And interestingly, I also recognize that there's some people that offer this type of service apparently, where in Jamaica they're based and you can send the passport to them and they will organize getting it to you and so on. The next step is, of course, providing a photo. You can read through on their website all the guidelines for taking the photograph. If you go to a photo studio, they should be able to provide the photo according to the standards that are expected. There was a bit of confusion for me because the documents that the embassy sent me said the photo should be 45 by 35 millimeters, but on the website of PICA, it is a different dimension. Whatever is on the website, just follow that in terms of how the photo should look. So when you're taking the photo, make sure that you do it somewhere where you can get the digital copy of the photo, because then the quality would be much better. Instead of just scanning the photo and then uploading it, you upload the photo. There are some checks that are apparently done to make sure that the photo meets the requirements that are expected. But it's also listed there that a manual check is done to verify, okay, this photo meets the standards that they have. After submitting the photo, then the summary page is shown with all the information that you've entered, and then you just need to select this option to say that you declare that the information is correct, and then you can then submit the application. So with the payment, it's just like paying any online payment service. You just enter your credit card information. For me, there was a problem with one of my cards, so I had to use a different card. So maybe that might also be the case depending on where you're doing this from. That's the process of renewing your passport online from overseas. And as I said before, in Jamaica it would be a similar process. You can also deliver within Jamaica, you can pick up within Jamaica, and so on. That's pretty much the process of renewing your passport online. My friend is arriving this week, so I'm excited to say goodbye to this passport and to get the new electronic passport, the e-passport. And there will be also a video comparing these two passports whenever I get it. If you want to renew your passport online, it works perfectly. Quick and easy process. This entire process can be done within 15 minutes. Great way to save time, effort, and some money. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and see you in the next Jamaican Tales video.